the Zephyrus G14. Powerful laptop, also very expensive. But now that the 2023 model is available, we're seeing some discounts on the 2022 one. And well, now we're talking. The one I have here has the Ryzen 6800HS CPU with a Radeon RX 6700S GPU with 16 gigs of RAM and a 1TB SSD. I paid a little over 1100 euros brand new. It's still a lot of money, but it's also a lot of laptop. I wanted a laptop that was powerful and I could still carry with me everywhere. At 1.7 kilos, the G14 isn't exactly super light, but it is compact with its 14-inch 16x10 form factor. And even though it's targeted at gamers, it doesn't really have that gamery aesthetic with heavy RGB. I actually quite like the look of the laptop, without any big logos in the back, just that ROG badge in the corner. In some models, these holes in the back have a matrix of white LEDs. They call it the anime matrix. You can display whatever you want in it, from the time to a customized image. But to be honest, I don't really have a use for it. I turned it off almost right after I got it. Same as the ROG boot up sound. I also turned off the keyboard light up sequence cause the initial flash didn't look right. They do give you a lot of control over the keyboard's lighting. You can pick whatever color you want from white to RGB, and you have a ton of sequences to choose from. The lighting on the keys isn't really uniform throughout though, it doesn't look the best. That said, typing on the keyboard is really nice. The keys aren't too mushy or too soft, and other than not getting the Portuguese layout quite right, every key is where it should be. I would like to customize what the function keys do. Hopefully that's something Asus can add in the future. The trackpad is another area where they killed it. It's massive, which is incredibly useful, and palm rejection works pretty well too. Speakers are awesome, and the 2022 G14 version finally also has a webcam. Really weird that the previous ones didn't have one just to do the job. The one in here isn't the best, it's only 720p and it isn't the highest quality one out there, but it's alright for web meetings and stuff. It also has Windows Hello facial recognition for logging in, which is great. The screen below that webcam, also really good. It's 1920 by 1200 with a 144Hz refresh rate and a 3 millisecond response time. It's accurate and bright enough, although it could use with being just a tad brighter. I do like touchscreens in laptops, and this one doesn't have one, which is a bummer, but it is what it is. What isn't a bummer is performance. That's where this laptop shines. It's all AMD baby, with a 6800HS CPU and a 6700S GPU, both cooled by liquid metal and a vapor chamber. Asus has a more conservative silent mode for the fans, a performance mode, and a turbo mode, only available when you're plugged into the wall. The performance mode should be a good middle ground between fan noise and temperatures, but man, are the fans annoying at low RPM. It makes me question whether I have defective fans or this is normal. Seriously, give it a listen. If you have a 2022 G14, can you please let me know in the comments if your fans also sound like this most of the time in performance mode? Thanks! It also has a mux switch, so if you're gaming or doing something more GPU intensive, you can switch to the dedicated GPU. If not, you can use the integrated GPU, save a bit on battery life. That's what I've been doing most of the time, and the 76 Wh battery holds up pretty well. I've been getting around 7 hours of light use with the integrated GPU just browsing and writing. It's not MacBook levels of battery life, but it's alright. If you want to upgrade the laptop down the line, it's actually quite easy to open. Didn't break a single clip. Although I hear some people on Reddit have complained of messing up the battery because of its connectors, so be careful with that. Actually opening it is 11 screws, with 3 of them being behind rubber caps. Take these out with something pointy and preferably not metal, maybe a toothpick. The bottom right screw is also captive, meaning when you take it out, it'll push up on the frame to help you open the laptop. Pretty cool. The DDR5 RAM is half soldered, half replaceable, the SSD is replaceable too, and so is the Wi-Fi card. It comes with a MediaTek Wi-Fi 6E card. Mine would take a lot of time to connect once I first started the laptop, and sometimes it would just go out entirely. Tried replacing it with an Intel AX210, but it does the same thing. and performance is very similar too, so not really worth it. Your mileage may vary, a lot of people complain of the MediaTek card, but yeah, I'm not too happy with the Wi-Fi in this laptop. The port situation here is alright. It has a microSD card slot, which I don't really have a use for, but whatever. One of the two USB-C ports also supports USB 4, but you need to install a beta BIOS for that. You can also charge using power delivery up to 100 watts through that same USB-C port, but I've noticed some weird behaviors with the trackpad when using that. This is kind of the trend with this laptop. It's really great, but Asus kinda overlooked some of the details. I would still recommend it. I mean, I got it right, and I'm not really the biggest fan of Asus. But you need to be aware of the trade-offs in order to get this awesome form factor and performance. That's all. I'll see you in the next video.